Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to this dose of celestial goodness. As always, thank you for joining me in this space and on this journey. I appreciate your time and your presence whenever or wherever you're watching from. In our last episode, the Divine Woo joined us to talk about the tarot and the Fool's Journey. This was timely since we're in the midst of some major cosmic happenings that do portend also major endings and beginnings. I made a previous video and blog on eclipses, so you can check that out. So these eclipses are very deep, very deep. They're happening in the signs of Scorpio and Taurus, and for some of us, they might stir up a little bit of anxiety. Scorpio especially carries a deep energetic signature of letting go of death and ultimately of rebirth. It is a sign that is firmly planted in the fall, while Taurus is in the spring, at least in our part of the world. We know that whatever is dying in our lives, whatever we're letting go of, is also creating room for something new to present itself, or for a divine rebirth. And yet, so much has happened already, and most of us just want a reprieve. Now, I know, like, I do. So, I've personally felt like the purging from my life, and even having knowledge of like the cycles and having good coping mechanisms, it can be a lot, and it has been a lot. And also, just to be clear, the planets and the cosmos don't actually make anything happen. Everyone has free will, but the influences of these cosmic happenings can be felt very strongly. And that can impact decisions, actions, and how we feel on an energetic level. It is also worth noting that different cosmic happenings impact and influence people in different ways. We don't all feel these things in the same way, but we do experience transits that impact our lives at certain times more strongly than at other moments. And it really is for these reasons that the topic of soothing oneself has come up for me several times in the past few weeks. I initially intended to make this blog and video a lot earlier, but really the timing wasn't right. And it has also become increasingly important for me to prioritize rest and my own self-care. And sometimes, we want to push through, but at other times we get the guidance. It's like, no, take it back a notch. You need to rest. This, for me, has manifested in actual sleep and taking time away from being productive to honor what my body needs and to hold space for myself. I do hold space for a lot of other people, and I believe that it is one of the duties that we have as human beings. How we show up for each other is important. Healthy boundaries are also important, but at least for me, I do appreciate the connections that I have with other humans, other people. And I don't ever want my friends to apologize if they come with their tears or heavy emotion, because friendship and love is really about so much more than unicorns and sunshine. And everyone knows that unicorns and sunshine is my jam. But being a human being means that our full and complex selves show up, and processing the range of what we feel is very important. In the last several weeks, I've had plenty of cries. My body has literally purged pent-up emotions, sadness, grief, fatigue, disappointment, and even a fear of the unknown to some extent. My closest friends and family members have held space for me to express what I'm feeling And they don't always need to know all the nitty-gritty, the details of what is causing some of this, but they do remind me of some truths. And they've also helped me to soothe myself when things feel particularly overwhelming. Importantly, I've been reminded how to soothe myself when no one else is available to help with that. That is also important because sometimes the people who we care about and who do hold that space for us, sometimes they don't have the bandwidth to do that. They might also be dealing with heavy things, or they just don't have the time. So sometimes we are all that we have, and I've learned more and more over the years why our relationship with ourselves is just so important. It is because when no one else is around, we still do have ourselves, and we have to get to know ourselves at our core. We are with ourselves all day, every day, for the rest of our lives. Do you like the person that you are? Do you know who you are? You know, befriending yourself is probably the first part of being able to soothe yourself. How do you talk to yourself? You know, I've been hard on me at times, feeling foolish for something that I did or said, or even things I didn't do, you know, or I would like to do and I haven't yet. But like most people, we've been doing the best that we can under the circumstances. So offer yourself some compassion and some grace. Speak to yourself in the same way that you would a beloved friend or relative. And thank your body for everything that it does for you. Thank it for being the physical vessel for your soul, and treat it as though it really does deserve your love. So speaking with someone that you love and trust is a soothing mechanism, and that does include conversations with yourself. Some other mechanisms are actual meditation. This can be difficult if you're feeling anxious, but sometimes listening to a meditation without trying to engage with it can be a helpful first step. I have some meditations saved that are just so soothing that even listening to them can help to settle my spirit, and sometimes I fall asleep, and I think it's important to not have to force yourself to say like, I must do this meditation right. That doesn't help soothing yourself. Journaling. I'm not great at journaling. My mom is amazing at it. I just wanted to throw that out. But it is such a useful act, and I do endeavor to get better at it because it's a good way to look back on your progress. When you can see how far you've come, that can be helpful in reminding yourself that you're doing better than you give yourself credit for. And I mentioned to someone the other day, the things that used to stress you out 2 years ago, those are not the same things that are stressing you out today. And we do need to remember that sometimes we are able to make it through crazy times and into new situations that help with our personal evolution. Exercise. This helps to create serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins that help us to feel better. Whenever I'm having a difficult moment, one of my favorite cousins says to me, "Did you take a walk?" Even a short 15 or 10-minute walk can be so helpful. And I'll also make a plug here for boxing and other exercises that you may not have considered. My trainer is teaching me boxing, and not only have I found it to be a very effective and efficient exercise for helping to strengthen my body, but I also feel like a deep exhilaration after my session. It's different, but it is so helpful for releasing pent-up emotions as well. Rest. In the very famous poem, and one of my favorites, Desiderata, there's one section that always sticks with me, and it says, "Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness." Yes, fatigue and exhaustion and tiredness can create their own anxiety. And sometimes you do need the nap, or sometimes you just need a good night's sleep. A warm shower or a hot shower, water is very soothing to me, and so it's really always one of my go-to tools. I also have eucalyptus bundles hanging in my shower, and beyond it feeling like a spa, it is very soothing to my spirit. Let's call it my emotional support eucalyptus bundle. So eucalyptus is known for its calming properties, along the lines of lavender and rose oil and other essential oils that you can add to water, to your bath water, to your soap, for a similar aromatic experience. Drinking tea. Yes, I love coffee so much, but nothing soothes my soul like a really good cup of hot tea. And I have many tea variations for an assortment of moods and different moments. Some really good options are ginger, mint, spearmint, chamomile, cinnamon, and orange, and raspberry. And lately I've been venturing into Damiana. I may have to do a video on different herbs for tea. But another really important mechanism, of course, is the option of soothing yourself by breathing with your breath. And we'll just go through a small example of this. So I want you to close your eyes and take in a deep but comfortable breath. Become aware that you're breathing and just feel the warmness of your breath as you inhale and exhale. As you inhale, slow and deep, just say to yourself, "I'm inhaling peace and calm. I'm inhaling love and compassion." How does that make your body feel? Are you softening? And then as you exhale, as your body is releasing stress, ask your body to release stress and any anxiety that you're feeling. Feel that tension in your body dissipate as you remind yourself that as long as you're breathing, that you have the ability to feel peace, to feel happiness, to feel joy. As long as you're breathing, life can go well. And if you're so inclined, you can put your hand over your heart and just feel the movement of your body as you breathe. Thank your heart. Thank your body for everything that they're doing for you. How does that feel? This is one of the best mechanisms that I have for soothing myself when something goes off kilter. You can also do this exercise with someone if you have a trusted person who can walk you through the breathing exercise. It helps to focus the mind so that you focus on feeling yourself breathing. It does really help to bring you back to center. And all of this is just to help soothe us when things get crazy and feel crazy. As Prince used to say, "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life." And I don't know what the future or the next couple of days or weeks will bring. The last few months have taught me not to take anything or anyone for granted, because we never know when life will shift. We never know if that moment was our last to tell someone that we cared, or whether it was the last time that we would get to experience doing something that we cared about. And so many of us are dealing with the repercussions of life events and things that have really been outside of our control. There is so little that we do control, but there are ways in which we can face the unknowns of life with poise and with grace. So whatever comes, may you feel empowered enough to know that you can face it head on. And I really do hope that some of these soothing mechanisms come in handy. May you remember that you are a human being who is doing your best each day, and it looks different on different days. And may the stars shine brightly over your week. May it be a beautiful, beautiful week indeed. And really, may things unfold in the most beautiful ways for you. Thank you.